Thanks for tuning into this episode of FinTech Focus TV, powered by Harrington Starr, the global leaders in financial technology recruitment. Head over to the Harrington Starr website where you'll be able to find all the latest jobs in financial technology across the globe. You'll also be able to download the latest issue of the Financial Technologist magazine, including the Top 1% Workplace Awards. Finally, if you're looking to grow your team, please get in touch. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to another episode of FinTech Focus TV with me, Toby. And today we are at the Fix America's Trading Conference, where we've been talking to some of the good and great of the industry all day. And the great continues with Joseph Lowe. Joseph, how are you?
Great, thanks for having me.
Listen, wonderful to have you on the show. Broadridge is a company that needs no introduction, but I'm going to ask you to do it anyway. You've just stunned me with the numbers. 15,000 people across the business is a huge, one of the godfathers of the financial technology space. So we're going to have lots to talk into. You're speaking on a panel later on. You're going through everyone's favorite subject at the moment, AI. It's not a conference at the moment if AI isn't brought into it. So I'm really interested to hear your take on it when you're going to lead in with as well. But before we get into all of that, let's do the intros. Joseph, tell us about what you do, who you are, and what Broadridge does alongside.
Yeah, my name is Joseph Lowe. I head up enterprise platforms at Broadridge. I'm responsible for our global enterprise product management capability. Broadridge is, as you kind of mentioned, is a global fintech leader with key franchises in wealth and investment management, capital markets, and the global governance process. Together, we have about 15,000 employees all around the world. As it relates to the capital markets and trading, we process over $10 trillion worth of trades a day. And we do corporate communications, regulatory communications to about 80% of households in North America.
Incredible. A long-term sort of partner of Fix and been very involved in the community for a long time as well.
Yeah.
And as I said, yours is, I think the agenda today is fascinating. We were talking beforehand about the sort of level of different conversations that are happening through it, the conversations I've had today and all sorts of areas of it.
Yeah.
And as I said at the start, AI is always at the very kernel of conversation at the moment because it's got such a game-changing opportunity within the space. So tell me a little bit about what your panel's sort of modus operandi is, what the title of the panel is, what you guys are going to be getting involved in, and what you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only is it at the start of every conference, every conversation with every client, at the bar, at every meeting, it's about AI. What are people doing about AI? The panel I'll be on is all about AI and its applications as it relates to trading, as it relates to Fix, as it relates to the post-trade workflows. And I'll be joined by other people in the industry focused on that. One of kind of our motivations at Broadridge is to really be a leader. One of our motivations at Broadridge is to be a leading practitioner of AI and using it in all sorts of areas of our business. We're doing that very much so in our capital markets business, where we are using AI for advanced reconciliation of post-trade processes. As our clients are moving towards T1, we think AI has a big role to play in how reconciliation is done. We've been very successful with our Bond GPT product, which is all around pre-trade analytics insights, so that traders can get to the trading part faster. With insights on what bonds, what fixed income is available in the credit markets, and so. Those are just some examples. And I'd say as well, we're doing a lot as it relates to the actual trading process, working with our Broadridge trading connectivity solutions around AI-based capabilities for even something as simple as fixed programming.
Wow.
Yeah.
And with regards to your sort of messages to an audience, if we want in these sessions for people to go away and be thinking about two or three things in a different sort of way.
Yeah.
What do you think some of the messages that people are going to walk away from your panel thinking about and discussing and going back to their offices and saying, this is on our agenda, this is what we need to get sorted out with?
Yeah, I mean, the number one message for anybody is you have to start doing and less talking.
Yeah.
We talk about the conference tour where everyone is talking about AI. But the best way to do it is to start. And get familiar with what technology is actually available there. It's easy to talk about AI like it's somewhere far in the future, but everyone is using AI now, and the sooner people can get familiar with the capabilities, familiar with the technology, and incorporating it into workflows that's gonna change everything.
So this time last year, generative AI was a twinkle in the eye almost, wasn't it? And it's been amazing the sort of scale and speed of progression within that whole space. 2024, that's not slowing down.
No.
And people are putting it and working it into their strategies. They're thinking about how they can do it. As you say, I think there's a reticence sometimes in this heavily regulated space where the stakes are so high. There's a reticence sometimes to say, right, we're going after this and being the early movers within it. How are you overcoming that sort of thing when the advantage is the speed of adoption?
Yes.
In many sort of ways. What's your thought process on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that just this time last year, November last year, was when ChatGPT came out.
I know.
And people were just amazed that it could write a poem for your spouse.
Yeah.
And we've moved so far past that because quickly because and unusually for our industry, which tends to lag, when it comes to adopting the latest technology. For us at Broadridge, we've taken a 4-point framework to be able to adopt AI, generative AI, in a safe and secure way for our clients.
Yeah.
And it really evolves around key guardrails for where we can use generative AI. Applying it across the enterprise so that whether you're in trading, whether you're in post-trade, any of those parts, we have a centralized mechanism to access generative AI, and that's given our associates, our product development teams, the ability to use it in a safe way.
And amazing, and you're seeing the adoption, you're seeing the appetite of customers to sort of go in here and do different things, because as you say, look, there's a really interesting takeaway that I talk about a lot.
Yeah.
We had a panel last night, which we hosted, where we were talking about data.
Yeah.
And my view still is that the adoption of data as a competitive advantage is used in other industries so much better than financial services. And it is that laggard sort of aspect in this industry for I think valid reasons. It's not just like, what's everyone doing? There's valid reasons why it can be adopted in other spaces. And AI, I think if you look at the arguments against within this sort of space, I hear it's about, right, AI is great, but it's, in this industry, you can't be approximately right.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the natural default. Cloud adoption's another piece, which don't get me started on that, and how long it took for that to be really garnered within it as well. But what makes this so different, and what can build that trust, which I think, and trust is necessary for adoption.
Yes. Well, I think what's different is that it's really tangible, viscerally tangible. It's something that business owners, tech owners don't have to spend 18 months to do a POC on.
Yeah.
They can try with these foundation models. They can actually observe and tangibly taste the results pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You mentioned data as an example, and I think that's where firms like mine have a big advantage, because we already process $10 trillion worth of trades a day. In post-trade, we have teams of people that do managed services for people, and we viscerally understand the problem statement, and we have historical data that we can use to inform how we can use generative AI.
Yeah.
A good example, when we talk about laggards, a lot of times it's paper-based processes, manual processes in multiple different systems.
Yeah.
And
don't get started on Excel, right?
And the reason why humans can do it so well is because we use humans to understand all this stuff, but generative AI and these foundation models are trained on the corpus of human knowledge.
Yeah.
And so really, there's a lot of opportunity that we see, but there's still a lot of work to do when it comes to alignment and making sure that financial services firms, the regulators can trust the AI.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something I could be talking about for a long time, and I know you're going to be talking passionately about it on stage in a minute. So for people who are listening to this and you've whetted the appetite of it, and we're hearing about what Broadridge can do for businesses in that sort of space, tell me who should be reaching out to you and how should they do that?
At Broadridge, we're at the center of a lot of different processes of our firms in wealth, investment management, capital markets, and of course the governance process. So any firms that are our clients that are thinking about using AI to automate processes, to personalize their service should be talking to us. I'd love for your audience to reach out on LinkedIn or check out our website at www.broadridge.com.
Perfect. Well, look, I'm sure they'll do that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a great conversation, isn't it? So, Joseph, listen, thanks so much for coming on the show. Good luck on the panel later on. I look forward to hearing all the hype about it afterwards. And I'm sure that we're all sat around having cocktails at the end of this. AI is going to be on the menu, right? It always is.
It always is, yes.
Great to have you on the show. And thank you all for watching. We will see you soon on another episode of FinTech Focus TV.